Beautiful, Aaron. Good afternoon, everybody. That's the music of Horace Silver, and it's called Peace. And how appropriate is it that we should be celebrating our afternoon together with such a beautiful song. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Lelena. Lelena Romero is here to sing with us. And you're going to sing with us too, right? Yes. Yes, we are blessed. Let's show it. Yes. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, or lay my head to rest, I am blessed. I am blessed. free. Yeah, I am free. Every day of my life, I am free, 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 free. When I wake up in the morning, I lay my head to rest. I am free. Let's take it up.
I am free, and we are still blessed. Yes, we are blessed.
I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, I lay my head to rest. I am blessed. I am blessed. Yes, put your hands together. Way to go, family.
Morning. Good afternoon. See, the mic wasn't on yet, so good afternoon. Welcome to Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. I am David Alexander. I'm the spiritual director here. My pronouns are he and his, and I'm delighted to welcome you into this space today. I want to welcome everybody who's watching online or on Facebook, on YouTube, now, because if you're watching it later, then it's now, right? Because now is all there is. Amen? You understand that?
Amen.
So now or now. Whenever people are tuning in, it is now, and we're grateful that you are taking the time to tune in. And we're grateful that you're here in this space as well. If you're here for the first time, maybe second or third time, you're fairly new to the community, we want to welcome you. We know that it takes intention to, nobody is stumbling upon Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not happening. You're here by intention, and we honor that and appreciate that. Please make yourself known to our ushers and greeters in the lobby after the service. They have a gift for you, and just introduce yourself. Say, I'm new here, and we want to get to know you better, and that's the way we will do that. I want to let you know that today the message will be delivered by our Associate Minister, Reverend Jean Bell. She is speaking on the third chapter in our Back to Basics series, which is what it does. What it does. I'm excited to hear that from Reverend Jean this morning. Let's go ahead into our affirmation. This affirmation is our affirmation for the entire series for this month. I'll go ahead and talk you through it, and then we'll do it all together with one voice. I declare 2024 as the year of my greatest good. Harmony, wholeness, health, and prosperity flow in every direction. What comes to bless me comes to bless all, for I am one with the allness of God. I receive it, I accept it, I am it. Not because I say it is so, but because it says that I am so, and so it is. We'll do it one line at a time and then ask you to repeat, and then we'll do it all together. I declare 2024 as the year of my greatest good.
I declare 2024 as the year of my greatest good.
Harmony, wholeness, health, and prosperity flow in every direction.
Harmony, wholeness, health, and prosperity flow in every.
What comes to bless me comes to bless all, for I am one with the allness of God. I receive it.
I receive it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
Not because I say it is so,
Not because I say it so,
because it says that I am so.
because it says that I am so.
And so it is. Take a deep breath. Now let's just let that all integrate into our being as we do it one more time in one voice. I declare 2024 as a year of my greatest good. Harmony, wholeness, and health prosperity flow in every direction. What comes to bless me comes to bless all, for I am one with the allness of God. I receive it, I accept it, I am it. Not because it say it is so, but because it says that I am so, and so it is. Yes, amen. Give yourselves a hand. Beautiful, beautiful. It's going to be a great day today. We're glad you're here. I want to welcome Jericho Brown to tell us a little bit more about some activities and events happening in the center. Let's welcome him.
Hi. It is January 21st, 2024, and these are your announcements. Your first announcement is, look at that picture. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Shannon. Everybody give Shannon a hand.
All right, Shannon.
It's a lot of work, a lot of grassroots effort we had, but we got a picture up there, and I think whoever's in it looks mighty distinguished. I'm Jericho Brown. My pronouns are he and him, and I serve on the creative arts team here at SLCA. We have so many great opportunities to connect, grow, serve, and give at SLCA. For more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, please scan the QR code found on your monitor. I'm going to give you some announcements, but there might be more things, or you can find out about these announcements more if you scan that QR code. Are you curious about certain spiritual practices and how they are relevant to the science of mind teaching, but have few opportunities to discuss them with like-minded people? Today at 5, we will begin a monthly discussion group exploring topics that may be too sensitive to discuss with your friends and family. SLCA practitioner Tony Jenkins welcomes your questions and a healthy conversation in room 220. Join us and let's talk about it. Is Tony here in the sanctuary right now? No, but Tony will be there at 5 o'clock. It is not too late to join Week 2 of Reverend Dr. David Alexander's 5-week accredited course, Spiritual Principles and Practices. This is an immersive course that invites students to explore the depths of their inner spirituality and discover the transformative power of science of mind principles. The class begins at 6:30 p.m. this Wednesday. I'm in that class. So you could come to see me, but you could also come to learn about spiritual principles. Sunday, I am the spiritual principal. Sunday, January 28th, Reverend Dr. David will embark on a 10-part series of the 10 core concepts of the science of mind during our New Thought Education Workshop Hour. Reverend David invites you to explore how these concepts can truly change your life. So a lot of teaching for your life and livelihood here at SLCA. Remember, you belong.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's sing about it.
Yes.
Stand if you are able.
Yeah.
Lift your spirits.
Sing in the way that you feel moved. Sing with us.
I am ready to receive.
I am ready to receive.
My good is on its way to me.
My good is on its way to me.
This I know when I believe.
This I know and I believe.
Prayer shows me everything.
Prayer shows me everything.
I sing because I'm grateful. I sing because I'm grateful for these things which are good. I sing because I can affirm.
Everybody.
I sing because I can affirm. And in unison together that I accept and I receive and I receive all God's good, all God's good that comes through me. Beautiful. Truth leads me, shows me how.
Truth leads me, shows me how.
Inner wisdom here and now.
Inner wisdom here and now.
Now I learn how to forget.
Now I learn how to forget
all the wrong which once appeared.
all the wrong which once appeared.
I sing because I'm grateful. I sing because I'm grateful for these things which are good. For these things which are good. I sing Beautiful. Please be seated. Rooted.
I want to invite you all to take in these words and the images that they invoke in you, in whatever way they move through you. But just imagine. Imagine that you are a tree. But you got a little freedom, right, in that? So just take these images. The song is called Rooted by Aisha Badru. Plant your feet upon the earth. Know your value, know your worth. Take a breath that's long and deep. You're carried by the ground beneath. Feel the sunshine on your skin. A lotus flower blossoming. Your journey is your offering. You are here for a reason. Send your roots down through the dirt, anchoring you through the hurt. With every breath, lengthen your spine, reaching steady towards the light. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Turn up the wiser voice within. Your story is your offering. You are here for a reason.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am.
In a flow of gratitude and love. My life is filled and overflowing with gratitude for the teachings I have learned here, for the spiritual laws I have learned here, for the truths that have enlightened my life to such a greater experience. I know that anything in my life is changeable, because I know that Spirit always hears me, that I am made of nothing but the Spirit that is, that inhabits all, that animates all. I am not all of God, but all I am is God. And so I know that those characteristics of God, the creativity, the ability to affect my world, the joy, the love, that is all within me, and I allow it to emerge. I allow it to overflow and affect those around me. knowing that the love that made me, the givingness of God to everything, that Spirit is in everything it creates. And so I know when things seem in a way that I do not want, that I do not have to accept this as permanent, because I have the power to think and feel and believe in a new way, in a greater way. And when things seem like my words are not working, I know that it is merely an invitation to know something greater, to pay attention to the clues that are coming to me and where the information comes from and what it is. And so when I feel down, when I feel doubt, I go to that principle which guides me, that God is all there is, that I am part of that divine everything. I am one with it, and that my words go forth and come back multiplied, because the Spirit always responds. And so when I seem to forget for a moment, I remember powerfully, and others help me remember. I look to see the way the messages are coming to me, through a comment, through an article, through music, through a show, whatever. I know that the information I need is always there. The way is always there. And I align myself with that principle and the knowing that the good is mine to receive. It is already given. And so I accept it for each of us here within the sound of my voice right now and any time this prayer may be heard. I know that the good is there for all of us, that it is ours to claim. It is a spiritual promise. It is not an idle saying. And so I overflow with gratitude and joy for this knowing that we are each capable of adding to the collective consciousness of the world for a greater experience for all. And this is the truth, and the truth sets me free. It sets us all free. And so I declare this truth is rooted in all those who have ears to hear right now, and that we see evidence of this in our life over and over on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a moment-by-moment basis, because it is wonderful. And I declare that it is so. So I simply say thank you. Namaste, aloha, shalom, blessed be, amen. And if you care to join me, and so it is.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering.
in the eyes of the one, in the eyes of the one. When I speak, I want to speak truth in the ears of the one, in the ears of the one. Show me the song you've given to me. Show me what longs to happen through me. Show me the question I came to answer. I will surrender. I will surrender with my hands. I want to lay down the stone on the house of the one, on the house of the one. Show me the song you've given to me. Show me what longs to happen through me. Show me the question I came to answer. I will surrender. I will surrender. Show me the song you've given to me. Show me what longs to happen through me. Show me the question I came to answer. I will surrender. I will surrender when I lay down. I want to rest in peace in the arms of the one, in the arms of the one. Show me the song you've given to me. Show me what longs to happen through me. Show me the question I came to answer. I will surrender. I will surrender.
Lelena Romero. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much, Lelena. Let's welcome the birthday girl. Come on. Reverend Jean Bell just had a birthday. She did.
Yes, I just turned 12. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. You're always embarrassing me with that birthday stuff. I know, I am blushing. I know you don't see it. My name is Jean Bell, and I am the associate minister here. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm so glad that you're with us today. If you're tuning in, if you're just tuning in, please like and share us on Facebook and YouTube Live. Oh, I tell you, back to the basics. We all need a restart sometimes. We went through the first Sunday of the month with the thing itself, and then Reverend David talked about the way it works. And today, I'm going to talk about, from the third section of the introduction of the Science of Mind book, what it does. Or as Shannon likes to tease me and say, what it do, baby, what it do? Well, I'm going to talk about what we do because of who we are in relationship to the thing itself, and how we personally enact what it does in our lives and out into the world. But first, let's do a real quick recap. What we've learned so far from Reverend David, the first Sunday, he told us about the thing itself. And he said that spirit is one, absolute, self-existent, indestructible cause, self-existent cause. We know that spirit is one, from which nothing can be excluded, from which nothing can be added. You know, the founder of this philosophy, Ernest Holmes, he did say, advance the slide for me. He said, we think of God as not some power, but as all power. Not as some presence, but the only presence. Not merely as a God, but as the God, the only causation to all things. This is the thing itself. And on the second Sunday, Reverend David discussed the way it works. And he said, spirit, the thing itself, operates or thinks into a universal law. And the law is always subjective to spirit's thoughts and acts upon those thoughts to bring forth manifestation, effect, in accordance with the thought. In other words, that which spirit thinks about, it brings about into creation through universal law. Now, law is subjective to spirit's thoughts and receives and acts upon the thoughts that spirit thinks. The reason the law is called subjective is because it is subjective to whatever thought is impressed upon it. It is always receptive to spirit's objective thoughts. This is the way it works. And the Declaration of Principles, next slide, please. Ernest Holmes said that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, this law, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. Now, that's the recap of the thing itself and the way it works. And this Sunday, we will continue with what it does. And what it does is creates out of itself and brings forth the entire body of creation. In the Declaration of Principles, it continues and says that the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Spirit thinks, the law receives that thought, and creation is brought forth. This is what it does. This is the creative process. Now, Ernest Holmes so many times has said he didn't come up with anything original. The Science of Mind philosophy is not original to him. Instead, he's like a master DJ synthesizing and bringing all of the ancient verities together. He brings universal principles to a practical and usable format. And so he developed a scientific method for us to understand, and he called it the creative process. And he presented it in a way that if we were to follow his guidance, it would lead to a conscious, whole, and loving life. The basics of what it does is that spirit takes an invisible idea and makes it visible. And so do we. We enact what it does in our lives. All of humanity enacts the creative process within our own thoughts, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously. And we make use of the same universal law that God uses. It is our individualized use of it through our subconscious mind. Now, this universal law has been called so many things in the Science of Mind book. When I became a practitioner and started studying it, I'm like, which is it now? You just called it universal law. You just called it creative medium. You called it universal subjectivity, universal mind. And it can get very confusing. But I just want you to remember that there is but one mental law in the universe. And where we use it, it becomes our law because we individualize it. And just as Spirit's conscious objective thoughts impresses upon the universal law, so do our thoughts impress on our individual use of this very law. As I said before, we are always using the creative process, but mostly we are ignorant of how our predominant thought patterns become things in our lives. So it's by learning what creative process is and how it operates in our lives that leads us to a better understanding of the spiritual laws of life, so we can use this creative process constructively for fuller, happier lives. Spirit wants us to live here and now, and to express it fully with love and joy and success and prosperity. It is through Spirit's eternal givingness of itself, in and through and as all creation, but especially us, that it individualizes and expresses. And as we become more aware of this, we come into a greater understanding that we are connected to all that there is. Now, if you have been a metaphysician for any time, and even if you are new to this philosophy, you probably have heard the analogy of the creative process akin to planting a seed in the soil. Let's advance the next slide. A plant, a seed, is a thought. That is the top level that you see here. The thing itself, universal conscious mind, remember, you use this too. Our thought, spirit thoughts, that's the conscious aspect of it. We plant that seed in the soil. The next slide. That creative law receives our thought and acts upon it without fail and always. It cannot say, no, that's not a good idea. No, you really don't want a red Corvette. You like your Kia Soul. No, you don't want that Jeep. No, it doesn't argue. It is receptive always. And there's so many things up here, but I just want you to remember the seed, the thought, goes into the soul. And what comes next? Next slide. A plant. The form, the manifestation, the red Corvette. The next slide. I just want you to see, this is a better image maybe for some of us to digest, because that chart can get really busy sometimes. You take that seed, that thought, you plant it into the soil, and manifestation of plants comes forth. And we do this through our subconscious mind, which is our individual use of that creative process. Now, I want you to know that I've always grappled with this. Ernest said, all thought is creative. And I'm like, no, it's not. But it is. And he prefaces it with, according to the nature, the impulse. What is an impulse? It's a strong urge or desire, emotion or conviction behind the thought. You know, and thank goodness for this, because I probably would have a unicorn, a Lamborghini, and a couple of other things that I wouldn't be able to return back. And I'm sure you too would have the same things. All kinds of crazy things would be popping up. So let's be clear. Thought plus emotion equals belief. It is our predominant thought patterns that create. Go back to the previous slide. Now, this I took from the Science of Mind book on page 568, 69, and 70. There are several different charts. And I made it as simplistic as possible. But how can you make universal law, that's something that the infinite uses, simplistic? Well, I think Ernest did a good job. And, you know, I didn't do too bad of a job either. It was kind of hard putting those words up in there. But when you think about it, your thought descends into the creative medium. And that creative medium, if you truly believe and you have faith in it and you have conviction in it, then it produces the results of the thing that you desire and want manifested in your life. And the circle, Ernest Holmes tells us, represents infinity. You can't contain spirit, something that is immanent and transcendent, but I think he did a good job. Let me just say this again. Thought plus emotion equals belief. It is done unto us as we believe. It is not necessarily done unto us as we think or as we feel, but put those two together, and what is the result is a dynamic powerhouse, a creative force. But there is only one mind. Now, there's two aspects of that mind, which is conscious and subconscious. And we use them every time, and they are active every time. So when we bring ourselves to realize that our ideas and our feelings about them are already an established fact, when they are still in mind and have faith and conviction that those established facts will come forth in appearance before they even do, well, at that point in time, you will have achieved mastery in this creative process. Well, but to achieve this, first we have to practice thinking about what we prefer instead of what we do not prefer. This may be a new behavior for some of us. I know it was for me. Many of us were taught to think about our problems over and over and over again, like that was going to bring forth a solution. But it does not. We have to break from the habit of those conditional thought patterns that have been already planted. And I just love the way Reverend David said last Sunday. He said, you can have a new thought today. You can have two new thoughts about the same thing. Maybe 2 days you can have a thought. But you have been using this creative process for days and months and years, and you have set this creative process into motion already, and you're wondering why things are cropping up. I'm not thinking that way anymore. That's now how I'm thinking. But you set it in motion, and those plants and those weeds are following you. However, as you begin to think anew, constantly, consistently with our spiritual practices, you begin to plant new ideas in the law of mind. And these ideas that are life-affirming and loving and in alignment with your highest good are more powerful than any negative thought patterns, any weeds that you've already planted before. Next slide. Ernest says in The Science of Mind, thought which is built upon the realization of the divine presence has the power to neutralize negative thought, to erase it, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness, but by being exactly what it is, light. So every day we begin with our spiritual practice of affirmative prayer, meditation, and visioning. Every day we get to choose a new and dwell on that which is a realization of divine presence in all of its verities. And as we strengthen our spiritual practices, and we apply this creative process, we come into a greater awareness of spirit, individualizing not only just through us, but through all creation. Because it is spirit's nature to create and express in creation, including us. Because with spirit, it is always moving forward into divine expression. And we are its outlets of this divine urge. We are the outlets of its expression. So if we would just for a minute get our small and sometimes petty preferences out of the way of this divine urge, of its creativity that wills out through us and as us, oh, what an amazing thing it could bring forth. And as outlets, we are and eternally will be in relationship with spirit. And now that we know what it does and what we do, we can no longer claim ignorance of our role to ourselves or to each other, or our role in the universal scheme of things. Ernest said some 68 years ago in a Solomar that our philosophy and its spiritual principles was a secret that should not be a secret. It should be shared. He said, next slide, we are not concerned with what pleases philosophy, theology, religion, science, or anybody else. If it is true, we must dehypnotize the self first. This is where we start. He said this is where we start, not where we end. He said psychology says the first adjustment is to the self, the next to the family, the third to society, and the fourth to the universe. And we are not whole until we have made the adjustments. We are not whole until we have made the adjustments. Otherwise, you know how you have to go to the chiropractor every now and again? And you're like, okay, it's out of place again. I need that adjustment so you can stand upright and so you can move forward. Because why? The current paradigm in which we live wants us to stay ignorant and not know these principles, not have dominion over our own mind and lives, not know what the ancients have taught, as within, so without, not know anything about how this creative process works and how we are always enacting it in our lives and out into the world. But what it wants you to do is to continue to worship something that is outside of yourself, some gigantic sky daddy that needs to be begged to, needs to be worshiped to. Anything, money, anything, sex, anything that is not, and now don't get me wrong, I like money. I do like sex. I like all those things, I do. But it is not your God. It is not. I want you to wait for your blessings until the afterlife. Even in this philosophy, there are those that are mainly focused on the individualized self. I'm not going to worry about those. They need to come into and learn this philosophy and learn how to manifest in order to get things. And they will turn a blind eye to the pain and the suffering of everyone. But let me tell you, there is no other. We are all that there is. It is only us. It is only the thing itself doing what it does through creation, in creation, and as the creation. I am that I am. I am that I am. That's all it is. Every person that has ever felt the indwelling presence and that fire and that all-consuming love and who truly understood that spirit is all that there is has never stopped at just freeing themselves. Harriet Tubman never stopped at just freeing themselves. Martin Luther King, Gandhi never stopped at just freeing themselves from the murk of this illusion that there is an otherness or a separation and that we should only fend for ourselves. No, all lovers of humanity, all the kings, the Gandhis, the Malalas, the Nadia Murads, the Greta Thunbergs, all of them, when they heard that inner voice within them that urged them to move out into the world and to speak the truth, that all people, all marginalized people should be set free and have the same rights that they do, the privilege does. Everybody is the one thing going on here, the Spirit of the living God. Those who are persecuted, those who are labeled, the animal kingdoms, the rivers, the air, everything is a divine expression of the living Spirit. Ooh, and we, as it, should protect it all. Why? Because everybody and everything is part of the one, and we are all interconnected with one another and the thing itself. So, what is ours to do now that we know about our relationship to the thing itself, the way it works, and what it does? Well, that's going to look different for everybody. For some, it's outreach, helping the poor, feeding the poor, helping the disenfranchised, helping the unhoused. For some, it's human rights, it's gay rights, it's LGBTQIA plus A2. For some, it's social justice and social equality, environmental rights and protections and animal rights, all the rights. Philanthropy, for me, it's ministry and spiritual counseling and healing. And with all the ways that we shine our light out into the world, we can use these principles as a guiding beacon and a stabilizing foundation to consciously create change in our lives and in our world. But keeping these science of mind principles a secret is no longer a viable option. So, and before I say this, Reverend David's got a class. Jericho told you about it. He's going to be there, right? And about 12 others are going to be there. It's called Spiritual Principles and Practices. It's just 5 weeks, but it lays the foundation so that we can move out into the world and be that light and be that beacon and be that love and be the hands and the voice and the feet of spirit, because we need these principles in the world, and it cannot be a secret anymore. So I want you to go within and connect to that divine spark. Know that divine fire, and let spirit within loose out into the world with whatever it is that is yours to do, because it's going to look different. And let's begin the great and mighty work our world so needs. And so it is. There are these beautiful things, and practitioners, please come forth. Practitioners that are available for prayer, please come forth. There are these wonderful practitioners that have dedicated their lives to the creative process, dedicated their lives to the spiritual mind treatment, so that they can be the beacons of light to help us see a new day and have a new thought. They will be available after service. Practitioners that are online, please make yourself known that you are available for prayer. Please, if you don't have a practitioner, get yourself one. It's a powerful thing, prayer. It changed my life. It changes many lives. All right, we're going to do the offering now. I am very grateful for everything that everyone gives to the center, because you allow us to continue to bring the good news of new thought and science of mind out into the world. It is your giving, your tithes, how you bless us. So thank you. There's so many ways to give. You can scan the QR code. You could write a check. There are some that are electronically tied. You could text a tithe. And I'm sure all this information is on the screen. You can go to SLCA.com. However you choose to give, please know that we are indeed grateful. So let's do this grateful giving with heart and with love together. I live in a universe of abundance, and as I give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Jean Bell one more time. Yes. We hope to see you downstairs for lunch, and we've got a great workshop happening at 5 o'clock. Yes. So stand if you're able, and let's sing our song. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. Everyone. We love you so much. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you downstairs. Let's have a bite to eat together. Yes.